right, today we're going to go out and take a look at the foliage here in the New Hampshire Lakes region. We're also probably going to go over to 1 Papa 1 or Plymouth Airport. It's a grass airport, 2,300 feet long. And if the winds are light, we'll probably make a landing there. So follow along. Laconia traffic, Super Cub 816 Whiskey Romeo, departing runway 26 with a right turn out to the northwest, Laconia. Okay, here we go. Full power. Engine gauges are green. Airspeed's coming alive. And we're up. A beautiful day out here today. Some low-lying fog in a few places, but overall, gorgeous out. Light winds, clear skies. Nobody's out here really flying right now. As I depart out of Laconia, I don't see that much color right now. Maybe just the time of day. As I look further north to the Sandwich Mountains and White Mountains, it's definitely a little bit more color up there. But what I understand, it's past Peak or base up toward Littleton area, much further north. We're headed up to 1 Papa 1 or Plymouth, New Hampshire. I was up there about a week ago, and runway conditions were excellent. Took a student of mine that with Laconia Flight Academy that basically learning to get his instrument and a Piper Warrior, and he wanted some experience in a Cub, so I took him out in this plane so he could just get that exposure to this type of aircraft. He loved it, had never landed on a grass strip either, so that was nice for him to get a chance to do that. And there we have Meredith off our right, Lake Waukee-1 off to our about 1 o'clock here. Like a little bit of fog over near Newfound Lake off my 10 o'clock, low-lying fog. Off my 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock is Squam Lake. And some low-lying fog in the valley just to the north side of the lake. We'll pick up the weather here now and limit.
249er, Zulu, weather, wind, calm, visibility 10, clear, below 12,000, temperature -0 Celsius, dew point -1, altimeter 3055.
Alright, weather is perfect. Plymouth traffic, Super Cub 816 Whiskey Romeo, 10 miles to the southeast inbound for runway 32, Plymouth. That was 30, not 32. I'm going to lose a little bit of altitude here. Up the river here, adjacent to Plymouth, over the city of Plymouth. Nice and early this morning, a lot of texture on those mountains. You can see with the shadows on the northwest side of those mountains. It'll come down to about 2,500, I think. That's the Pemigewasset River right off my 12 o'clock. Right in this valley. We're just basically working straight ahead. The runway's out in front of me at 12 o'clock. There's a green patch that you can see in the distance. The runway's just before that. The river is really low. Had really a lot of drought this summer and fall so far. We're going to plan to enter on the upwind 430, so I can basically kind of just take a look at the runway. I did check the NOTAMs as well. There was no issues, but always nice on a grass strip just to see what the conditions are before you land on it. So we'll go on the upwind and be able to take a look off our left side and see how it looks. And there's nobody in the pattern there right now. Field elevation is 506 feet, so pattern altitude is 1,500 feet. Oh wow, you can see up there toward Franconia Notch, you can see granite, a granite wall at about my 2 o'clock. Alright, car feed's coming on. Let's just check our descent list, put the landing light back on. Fuel selector valve left tank, full tank still, no leaks going on. So there's the runway off my 11 o'clock. I could cross midfield for the midfield left downwind, but I'm going to go around on the upwind to the crosswind, have a full length of downwind, just to kind of assess everything as I come in here. Let's get down in altitude, to pattern altitude. Definitely want to make sure you turn your left downwind pretty soon here with those hills. Again, runway looks in good shape. Alright, car beat's going to come on. There's the end of the runway. Or beam the numbers. We'll take that power out here now. For the snatch of flaps. Pitch for about 70 miles per hour. Nice covered bridge right there. Right off my 10 o'clock. We'll see it on the way in. I'll kind of have an extended final just so you guys get good pictures or good video of coming in for Plymouth. Plymouth traffic. Super Cub 816 Whiskey Romeo turning left base runway 30 Plymouth. Myself come out here a little bit more, overshoot just a little bit. Get a nicer view here. As you can see, I overshot it. I did it on purpose just to lose some altitude out here. Valves lined up. There we go. Car beat's coming off at this point. Just managing pitch and power. I'm trying to be at 60 to 55 here. Coming down. Hold it off. Hold it off. All right, that was Plymouth. Not a big problem with that landing. And a back taxi. Plymouth traffic. Super Cub 816 Whiskey Romeo is going to back taxi on runway 30 Plymouth. So the trick here is you really want to be on airspeed coming into these short runways. This one's 2,300 feet, which is plenty long enough for this type of plane. But if you're landing on some of these other types of airplanes, a Skyhawk or something, you want to be on your final approach speed for a short field landing or a soft field landing. Definitely some ice, or frost I should say, on this here. I'm taxiing back. Big advantage of a airwheel plane here is my prop blade is up about 1.5 to 2 feet off the ground, even with these 850s here, so plenty of clearance here for any of the bumps going up and down here. On a tricycle gear plane, you have to kind of worry about that the plane doesn't rock and the prop doesn't hit the bottom of the, or hit the grass. And I'll use all available runway, leave no runway behind. One of my recent videos was on some of your 4 best friends, and one of them is runway in front of you. So we're going to use all of it. From the traffic, Super Cub 816 Whiskey Romeo departing runway 30. Will be a right turnout to the south. Plymouth. All right, just going to make sure everything's good. Not going to put the flaps in here. Mixture's rich. Heartbeat is off. Door closed and locked. Transponders on. Landing lights on. We're good to go. Alright, we'll probably kick in some flaps here at some point. There we go. Airspeed building. Pop up. One notch of flaps. There we go. We're going to climb to 3,000 feet. We'll go over some of these mountains up here a little bit to the northwest and see if we see any more foliage. If I turn to the north here, you can see Franconia Notch here. I'll turn up so you can kind of see that. Big wall of granite. So there right off about my 11 o'clock, almost my 12 now, you can see Franconia Notch, that carve out with that large granite wall on the left. Route 93 goes right up through the center of that. I think it's just the time of day. Colors aren't showing up as strong as they might. Or on the back side of the Sandwich Mountains, or to the west of the Sandwich Mountains, I'm going to plan to go right over the tops of them and then come down into the valley below on the other side. So we're going up to about 4,000 feet here. Give us a little bit of buffer over these mountains that we're about to go over the tops of. What we're seeing here is the top of the Sandwich Mountain Range, and it looks down over Squam Lake. So we're going over the top of the Sandwich Mountains here.
C21 November Echo turning spine on runway 35 Augusta.
Right off my nose is Ospey Mountain Range. I've said it before, but it is an ancient volcano. You can kind of see the shape of it. On the other side, there's a small lake where that's the caldera. And Red Hill off my 1 o'clock with Squam. And there's the ridge line of the Sandwich Mountains. You can see white face right off my wing, and then, about probably my 10 or 11 o'clock, you can see Chicora off in the distance. And we'll do a 360-degree turn here, pan shot, so you can get a whole sight picture of this valley that sits just south of the Sandwich Mountains, the White Mountains, and Ospey Mountain Range off my right at the moment. So that's the foliage conditions here in the New Hampshire Lakes region and just north of the Lakes region up toward Sandwich Mountains, White Mountain areas, and out toward Plymouth. Hopefully you enjoyed this video with me also landing over in One Papa One or Plymouth. I try to put out a video every week, sometimes more. They're either on scenic flights like this, or they're instructional flights on flight training, anything from tailwheel flying to tricycle gear flying for private pilot, instrument, commercial, all the way up through your CFI. So anyways, if you have any interest in knowing more about that type of training, or you just like the scenic flights, hit the like button and subscribe to this channel so you get notified when I come out with my next video. Lake looks pretty empty today. Not a single boat on it from what I can see at this point. Just occasional bird, a seagull flying over it. The lake is very low. You can see lots of rocks just underneath the water in a lot of places that you normally don't see it. So I'll probably have to come out here again in another week to see what the foliage is looking like. It's still not that turned here over the lakes region. There's some color, but be a lot more. So when you fly cubs, often you fly slow and low. That's what I'm kind of doing right here, is I'm just about to enter the pattern. Normally I fly quite a bit higher, usually 3,000 feet or so around this region because it's 90% treed. The one advantage of a cub with bigger wheels, you can divert to a field much easier.